I mean, okay. Let me see if I can put this a different way. We live in a country that was not supposed to party. When the country was founded, it was never put in the Constitution, but it was agreed that we weren't going to do this exact fucking thing, where it is basically just a cabal of one group of people versus a cabal of another group of people. Because then if you don't vote for player fucking one, then you are basically automatically voting for player two, as if you were throwing your vote away. But we also live in a country where if there's one thing we understand, it's economics. And if you, no matter what it is that you do, whether or not you're running for president or trying to sell hamburgers, you absolutely want to focus on the lowest common denominator. You know, by definition, there's more stupid people than smart people. It makes more sense to appeal to those people than anything else. But it doesn't take a genius to look at Donald Trump and think, is this guy a figure that wants to impose his morality in order to fix a country? Or is this a guy who knows what it would take to become... Goddamn, it's the same fucking stingwing as before. And the elevator's down because I used it to get up there last time. Yeah, this isn't gonna work. I need to call the elevator. Close, but no cigar, kid. And that poison damage goes on for days, doesn't it? There's an equal of people smarter than average and dumber than average. Well, I mean, yeah, that's true, but I guess maybe I'm not explaining this exactly the way that I meant to explain it. Not dumber and smarter, but more intelligent as far as choosing their voters go, and more visceral. That's pretty much what it comes down to. Like, for instance, if you had somebody who was a brilliant tactician, politician, diplomat, who wanted to run for office, but he looked like what fucking what's his name? He looked like what Neville Longbottom looked like before he got his teeth fixed, only he was old, and you could just smell that he fucking stank just by looking at him. You'd probably be like, I don't fucking trust this guy, because he looks like shit on a stick. You know what I mean? Like, we don't think like that, because obviously we're the smart ones, of course, because that's how you talk to people when you discuss this type of thing. But in general, most people feel that way about everybody. You know what I mean? The nicest woman in the world might be the woman that works at the gas station by your house. But because she did crystal meth for 20 years and her teeth are fucking shot and she looks like she's 80 even though she's 40, you're very unlikely to want to elect her as the leader of your party. Do you know what I mean? What am I listening to? Scribe Ferris's holotape?
This is Ferris. It's been 2 hours.
So that's what I'm saying. Is there's a visceral quality to who you choose as your partner, not just from looks, but just in general, you kind of get this like, oh man, he's an asshole kind of sense, and it colors the way that you feel about candidates. And no matter what policies you might agree or disagree with, you're going to be influenced probably more than anything else just by the feeling that you get from a candidate. Is this guy a scumbag? He sounds like a scumbag. That kind of shit. Let's see. There's some more T60 in there, but I can't unlock that terminal.
Security's too tight.
That's too bad. Let's see. I need to go home. I can do the bunker later. As far as JFK goes, JFK was conventionally attractive, especially for the 50s and 60s. But even more so, look at who kind of led up to JFK. It was a consistent list of gross old men. Have you ever? I mean, you've seen paintings and pictures of George Washington, but he, and he even took care of himself comparatively. But John Adams looked like shit most of his life, and he prevented a war with France. Thomas Jefferson, he was no prize either. He was a great president for his time, but if he tried to run today, nobody would take him seriously at all.
Hi.
We're open for business again. A little lighter in the pocket.
Sure. Let's take a look.
Oh yeah, I forgot what my guy looks like without sunglasses and a hat on. Actually, I'll probably be over encumbered for this, but it's worth it.
Hey there.
I got a store to run here.
JFK was also the man for his time.
Sure.
All set.
Because I think we're going to live forever in a world where everybody sees a crotchety old bastard as being a crotchety old bastard. And when the thing you're most afraid of is that your countrymen are going to bomb other people's countries and they're going to bomb us and we're all going to fucking die, it kind of just feels right to elect somebody who you think is young and has like his whole life ahead of him, which ironically he didn't. Okay, she didn't have nearly enough. I could probably clear out all of her shit, including her concrete, and she wouldn't even come close. Let's see, all this stuff. Well, you came pretty close there. If we're going to turn something back in, let's turn these back in. It looks like we got to return 1107.
Okay. Need some chems? Sure. Let's take a look. Now remember. Uh-huh.
Well, we don't need that. Buff out is always a treat. Just turning all this shit. Did I sell the jet that I just had? Yeah, I totally did. Oh well. what else are we gonna do with it, you know? Okay. Cool story, man. Alright, let's go back home and set up our shit, and then we'll probably have to end the stream here. I don't know about you guys, but I am fucking toast. Is there anyone to sleep in Dime City other than home plate? Yeah, you can rent a room in the Bobrov brothers' place. What's that place called? Yeah, whatever, the bar. The Bobrov bar, the Russian dude bar. Yefim and Vadim. Dugout Inn, yeah, that's what it's called. What is this? The Japanese Trump ad is actually pretty genius. I mean, it's not a real ad, obviously, but it's just so fucking weird. Why they gotta be Russian? I just assume they're Russian because Elena tells me that they have like perfect Russian accents and that Yefim and Vadim are very like Russian names, and Bobrov is a very Russian name. So all the accents combined, it's kind of like, you know, having an American say that dude sounds like he's from the South. You know what I mean? That's sort of the feeling there. You're gonna go start your Uncharted 2 playthrough? Uncharted 2? I thought everybody was fucking hard up for Uncharted 4. Guilfoyle's my favorite too, Cynical Neurotic. Guilfoyle is my spirit animal. Are the voice actors actually Russian? If they're not, they're pro voice actors. Because I can't even do like a British accent without having British people be like, you sound a little bit like from the north and a little bit like from the south, and it's fucking weird as hell. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, man. Okay. We need to fix our bullshit here. Because it's broke as fuck. It's also now pieced together from two different kinds of power armor, so... Fuck, that costs a goddamn lot. I don't want to... I'm very much not interested in wasting nuclear material when I'm going to have to waste nuclear material to go up to Model F on the X01, to Mark 6 on the X01. I wonder if this or this is better. It looks like this is. It is. So much for the T60 shit. But it was nice to have in that moment in time. Thanks, rational bassist. I'll let her know. Let's see, we need to take that with me. Okay. Where do you go for the XO1? I go to Core 35 usually. Core 35 is a unmarked location sort of to the east of Diamond City. And yeah, it's a pretty good place to go. Okay. I think that's it. Can't do anything in either one of these places. And, Carlo's not here, so... Let's see here. It's just parasites. Yeah, this build doesn't use traps. That's just grinding experience. Okay. What's up in Rage Tech? How you doing? Yeah, this guy's name is Egg. Even though he looks more like Lopan. Lopan may have been a good name for a character, but if he's going to be a character, he should be the character. He should be a Skyrim character if he's going to be a character at all. So let's see if I can remember what the fuck we were doing with this guy. Because I haven't thought about him since Sunday. We crafted a bunch of these that we can go hawk. We probably should have been wearing this shit when we did it. Oh yeah, we got all the way up to the Lost Patrol. Investigate the bunker. That's pretty crazy. Faneuil Hall, that sucks. That's a pretty gnarly area. We can go to the Ten Penis Bluff. I love Ten Penis. That's fucked. Let's see, what else do we got here? I mean, we could do some of the stuff and we could do this. We could do this. We could probably do this. Yeah, probably the thing to do is to talk to these dudes, and then on the after we get past where they are and they say I need to go kill raiders in Raiderland, we can go to the Lost Patrol and tell that guy that we got all that guy's stuff for that guy. And he'll be like, "Urgh," and then he'll try to kill me probably because I'll fail a speech check, which is a damn shame. The Donald Trump of headsets. Oh, Jesus Christ. Let's not even think for a fucking minute about politics tonight. Politics have been depressing as fuck lately. Let's just think about Fallout. How's that sound? Rate The Big Lebowski on any scale of Will Ferrell movie to Silver Linings Playbook.
I think you think there's no good Will Ferrell movies. Is that the case? Because Casa de Mi Padre is fucking genius. I will hear nothing bad about that movie. And if Silver Linings Playbook is the best movie ever made, then Big Lebowski is off the scale by a large margin. I will admit that the Big Lebowski doesn't have sexy Jennifer Lawrence dancing around. And that's a drawback, to be sure. I mean, the sexiest person in the Big Lebowski is Tara Reid at the age of, like, 19. And that's pretty rough. But no, the Big Lebowski is one of the greatest movies ever made. One of the greats. It's a movie so good that it by itself has its own convention, as well as multiple like books written about it. Any movie that has such an original feel that it can by itself be a convention that people, 100 years from now are going to quote it. It's well beyond. I mean, as far as personal preference, you might say, "Oh, Silver Linings Playbook, best movie ever," but I can't remember line fucking one about that movie, except for when what's his name says, "What the fuck?" and he pitches the book out the window. Would I consider myself to be a film snob? No. But I mean, like, you have to judge it on a variety of scales. Would you say Star Wars is one of the great movies of all time? No, probably not. But maybe you do. Maybe you think that A New Hope is one of the greatest movies ever made, and for good reason. It is like deeply ingrained into our culture, so much so that most anybody knows details about tertiary characters from the Star Wars universe. Do you know what I mean? Like, primary and secondary characters: Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, C-3PO, R2-D2, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Darth Vader, the Emperor. All these guys have incredible, they have incredible characterization that the movies have ever since then copied. But it's not gonna, it's not gonna hold up unless you can name shit about fucking Salacious Crumb, and I don't even like Star Wars, and I know who the fuck Salacious Crumb is. And Big Lebowski's on that level. I understand it's good, but I'm trying to watch it. I just don't think characters like Walter are completely weak, and when they're the basis of how the plot is formed, the entire movie becomes weak. Well, it's not Ulysses or anything like that. It's not Infinite Jest, but it's still pretty fucking good. I mean, yeah, take Luke Skywalker, for example. He's as far as being a character goes, he's pretty lackluster, man. He's on a par with Harry Potter or Neo or let's see, what's another good example? I even think maybe Frodo is a good example of a character that does nothing except for what they perceive to be the right thing, and it overwhelms all of their other desires or motivations.
We don't need any more trouble.
It's okay. I'm with the Minutemen. I'm here to help.
You're with the Minutemen? I didn't really think you fellas still existed. We sent word with one of them passing traders, but honestly, I never expected anything to come of it. Most people don't put much stock in the Minutemen these days after Quincy. Bad business.
We're rebuilding the Minutemen from the ground
Glad to hear it.
Yeah,
There's a
yeah,
way-
yeah.
We don't...
Don't
We need to get through this conversation because
Thanks, friend.
I'm in the middle of a fucking diatribe here. I gotta go back to it. Oh, please tell me that you want me to go. Oh, never mind. I wanted him to tell me that I needed to go to the not to the Corvega assembly plant, to Walden Pond. Okay, let's see if we can manage to do this without going to Outpost of Monja. I think I can turn... Wait, what's the other quest here I have activated? Oh, it's just this one, but it wants me to report back to Dickie McDickfuck. Okay, yeah. So there's characters in fantasy and science fiction movies who have no motivation except for to, do the right thing. They might have some motivation, like, the Dursleys are dicks and I want to be different from them, or I hate the government and I don't like them to control everything, or whatever. But when it really comes down to it, all of their fears or their hesitations are waylaid by, I just got to do the right thing no matter what. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, they're presented with decisions that we ought to make. But most people don't just go around doing the right thing for the sake of doing the right thing. You know what I mean? Have you ever seen, there's a cracked.com video that's about Harry Potter refusing to go fight Lord Voldemort, and he grows up and he's like essentially a magic Hunter S. Thompson, and he's hanging out with fucking Ron, who just decided not to just to go along with him because he was supposed to be the chosen one or whatever. That's an interesting story. An 11-year-old is approached and told that he has to fight Wizard Hitler, and he's like, fuck that. I'm 11. I'm fucking terrified. When I was 11, I didn't want a doorbell ditch. I cried to my friends not to do it because I was so fucking terrified of I don't even know if it's necessarily breaking the law, but just being a shithead. You know what I mean? I couldn't even. Yeah, I couldn't even stand up to those kids. So, yeah, take the Big Lebowski, for instance. The dude is more like a real person than the, empty characters that are Neo and Luke Skywalker and those kind of characters. Because his motivation is mostly that he just wants to be left the fuck alone. But he also wants to stand up for himself as a person. So when he gets... when he gets his house broken into and some creeps trash the joint and he tells his friends about it, and his friends are either totally ignorant, like Donnie, or have a very much idealistic view of justice because they know that they're not personally being harassed or involved, but they've spent their life supposedly fighting for other people's freedoms. They interject with this whole, you should just, you should demand justice. It might be easier to just go along to get along, but you should see if you can avoid getting fucked every day of your life. And so the dude pursues that avenue. And he doesn't pursue it very hard. He goes, he goes along for a while. Let's see here. What are we looking at? Now, why don't I just do this? I have a much better chance of passing all these speech checks with my, 9 charisma in this situation. Yeah, let's see if we can pass it this way.